The CEO, worth hundreds of billions, disguised himself as a migrant worker to inspect his own factory. He never expected to run into his long-lost younger brother. And just like that, the two brothers reunited after 20 years. The younger brother saw that his older brother had had a tough life, so he planned to find him an easy job at the factory. Saying that, he showed up at the factory with a hen. Soon, with the younger brother pulling some strings, the foreman arranged a job for the CEO, but the CEO still noticed something fishy. He didn't expect that a factory under his own corporation would be engaged in selling job positions, so he confronted the foreman. The foreman, afraid it would blow up, refused the younger brother's request. Just then, the manager suddenly showed up. After understanding the situation, he hinted that bringing two hens would improve the odds, indicating that the bribery standard had gone up. Otherwise, no position could be arranged at all to keep his brother's job. The younger brother begged the manager to pay the 6 months' back wages. When the CEO heard there hadn't been pay for 6 months, he was instantly furious. He immediately sent a message to his assistant when no one was watching, telling her to send a team for a surprise inspection. But just as he finished speaking, he saw the foreman scolding a worker who was asking for his pay. The CEO couldn't believe that in places beyond his sight, such corruption was happening. So he revealed his identity as the CEO, but in return, he got a beating. Even his brother was beaten unconscious. At this moment, the assistant arrived with a team to inspect the factory. The manager, afraid of escalation, ordered the brothers to be locked up, then led the group to greet the inspection team. Afterward, under the manager's guidance, the assistant and her team completed the inspection, but they didn't see any sign of the CEO, so she asked the manager if there were any new hires, afraid they'd catch on. He lied, saying the person wasn't hired. That statement immediately raised the assistant's suspicion. She instantly felt something was wrong with the factory. The manager's behavior during the meal shocked her even more. Things were supposed to be simple, yet the manager arranged a top-tier banquet worth $100,000. He even tried to bribe the assistant with gifts. This act immediately angered the assistant. She concluded on the spot that the manager was embezzling workers' meal funds. Unexpectedly, the manager shifted the blame onto the foreman and scolded the foreman harshly right in front of the assistant. He even hinted to the foreman to take care of the old, weak, sick, and disabled workers. So the foreman went to the warehouse and once again beat up the two brothers. Fortunately, at the critical moment, the CEO managed to break the glass using his strength. The noise immediately drew the assistant's attention, so the assistant ignored the manager's attempts to stop her and insisted on going over to check what was happening. She happened to run into an injured worker coming out. The worker accidentally let slip that people were being locked inside. Realizing something was wrong, the assistant went in to investigate, seeing he couldn't hide it anymore. The manager confessed everything that had happened that morning. He even tried to defend himself, saying it was all for the sake of the corporation. That's why he locked up and punished the troublemakers, unaware that the foreman inside was about to beat the CEO again. Luckily, the assistant arrived just in time and stopped the absurd scene. Even then, the manager kept bad-mouthing the CEO until he heard the assistant call him CEO. Only then did the manager realize the disaster he'd caused. The two men quickly knelt down and apologized to the CEO. The manager still insisted it was all for the factory and workers. That's why he did it, begging the CEO to spare them both. That line completely enraged the CEO. He accused him of embezzling funds and maliciously withholding wages and presented evidence of the bribe. Even worse, he dared to beat and imprison employees when the manager said he'd worked there for 10 years and should get some credit at least for his hard work. The CEO was stunned. He couldn't believe it had taken him 10 years to discover such a worker under his nose. He immediately ordered his assistant to check all the financial records from the past 10 years, to investigate every single one, and to show no mercy to anyone who needed to go to jail. Then he ordered the assistant, in front of all the workers, to expose the crimes of the manager and the foreman. Then he dismissed both from their positions and ordered that all the money they had embezzled be recovered and returned to the employees. Finally, he ordered the unpaid wages to be paid at triple the original rate. This move won unanimous praise from everyone. The manager and foreman both got the punishment they deserved. But at that moment, the CEO's younger brother was still unconscious in the hospital. The assistant also found out that the CEO's brother had once been married and had a lovely daughter, but now he was the only one left at home. What exactly had happened? Even the assistant wasn't sure what had gone on. She only knew that the CEO's brother's wife had looked down on him for being poor, so she ran away with their daughter. Just as she finished speaking, the younger brother woke up, and the CEO still didn't reveal his true identity to his brother. He only told him everything that had happened at the factory. The brother was very happy to hear it. Soon, the younger brother was discharged from the hospital. Seeing that he was getting better, the older brother brought out a photo and asked him what had really happened. Not wanting to worry his brother, he didn't want him to get involved. Just as the two were about to leave, the younger brother accidentally caught sight of his daughter. He immediately went up and acknowledged her. From the other kids in the village, he learned that the girl carried buckets of manure every day. She smelled so bad that no one wanted to play with her. After saying that, the kids left. Seeing how hard his daughter's life was broke, the younger brother's heart, the CEO saw it too and understood everything immediately. He immediately called his assistant, telling her to bring a lawyer with her. But just as he finished speaking, the girl's maternal grandmother came over. Seeing the girl not working, she was about to scold her. Thankfully, the younger brother stepped in and stopped her in time. Seeing how his wife's mother treated his child, he swore he would fight for custody of his daughter no matter what. But as soon as he said it, she mocked him. She looked down on him for having no money or ability and had no intention of letting them go. Saying that, she sat down and started wailing, claiming they were trying to steal the child. That immediately drew a crowd of villagers to come help her.